Hi students, welcome to week 4. This is the first week where we are going to start building your research paper. This is the week you start with your title page and your abstract. I know some of you with the quizzes or the forums were like, gosh, why is she such a pain? Why do we have to follow the instructions? Well, there was a reason, because APA is all about following the instructions. And if you don't read everything at your fingertips, you are going to miss valuable points on your research paper parts. So this week is a normal week that we would be in the library. We would normally meet in the library in our face-to-face class. You would meet with Emily and Dottie in week 4 and 5, and they would explain how to do different types of research, because you got to write your title page and your abstract, which is really talking about what you're going to write about. So you really need to have your research done this week and all of your references chosen so that you can begin writing. So your first videos are going to be from Emily talking about how to do that research. They're all pretty short, as you can see, definitely under 15 minutes, but make sure you watch them so you understand how you have to do your research, because you can't just research on Google. Also, you're going to start seeing research paper. I'm going to include this every week. It's a quick overview of all the parts and their length required of your research paper. You're going to also start seeing originality. It has to be 20% or lower. So basically 19%, which is actually pretty high. So make sure you check when you do submit your research paper that you understand VeriCite, because when you go to submit your title page here, it is going to ask you if it's your submission, and how you view your originality is through VeriCite. It's all through this. You don't have to go to a separate website, but make sure you understand VeriCite. And as you remember, that was going back to our earlier weeks right here, right under announcements. This is all about VeriCite and how to submit and view your reports. All right, going back into week 4, some final things. Title page and abstract. Make sure again that you view everything and all of the instructions that are covered in that. Right now it's not popping up because it's not due, but you'll be able to see that when I make this visible to you. And make sure you always go back to week 3. I made this in yellow and said important because it goes over what the start items are. So for example, in your abstract, you're going to have some start items to make sure that you include, that you won't include on your final paper, but you do have to include it in these steps. I also put some template research papers. This is one that has the start items. This is what it will look like in your final submission. And this is a template that has detailed explanation of every part. Make sure you go back to week 3 if you have any questions. We have all kinds of APA, citation makers, and everything. So again, make sure you go back to week 3 to utilize these templates for a guide, and you make sure you read the instructions. Also, just to let you know, when we move into week 5, you'll have your next 2 parts of your research paper will be the introduction and thesis that'll be due, but you'll also have to include the title page and abstract corrected. So when you get it back, you will need to make sure you make those corrections so you don't lose any points. As you can see, we're going to be building on it each week. So for example, this week you're going to do your title page and abstract. Next week, in week 5, you'll do your corrected title page and abstract along with your introduction and thesis. And then week 6, you'll do all those corrected 4 parts before that, and now your literature review, and so on and so forth. So again, make sure you review back to week 3. All right, let me know if you have any questions. Have a great week.